So tomorrow in the Oval Office, extraordinary meeting of two game respects game New York politicians. Some people are predicting it's going to go be a love fest because Trump likes, theatrics and Mondami's coming in knowing what he's doing. Here's Mondami on the pregame show last night with Chris Hayes on MSNBC about his goals,
MS
113.
now. MS now.
MS now. 114. Sorry, 114.
Do you think a lot of people go into meetings with Donald Trump, I think, thinking they're going to be the one to get over on him? And I sometimes often think, I've watched this now for 10 years, they screw up because they think they underestimate him. Like, what is your goal for a meeting with Donald Trump? What do you want to come out of a meeting with Donald Trump?
I want to just speak plainly to the president about what it means to actually stand up for New Yorkers and the way in which New Yorkers are struggling to afford this city. And frankly, cost of living is something that I heard time and time again from New Yorkers about why they voted for Donald Trump. And this is something that is only continued in the last few months of this year, where we're hearing about childcare concerns, rent concerns, Con Ed concerns, even just getting on the bus, just $2.90. And just to make it clear to the president that this is what we're talking about, these are the stakes for New Yorkers and their ability to keep calling this city their home.
I'll just say, if Dan, you've probably noticed this too, because people don't pay attention to politics. There's a bunch of New Yorkers who think the buses are free now because Mondami won. So all the buses in New York now have big, the electronic sign on the front that tells you what bus it is and what route it is. They all say fare required, because people must be getting on the buses nonstop saying the buses are free. Mondami won. I think the meeting's going to be a love fest, but I don't think there's any way to know. But that'd be my guess, is it's going to be surprisingly warm with a few little jibes. Sean.
Well, first of all, I think the tell is JD Vance on the couch when Mondami.
I was just going to add that. Yeah. I got a flip one for you. Does Mondani bring some people and put on with him to be on his couch?
Yeah.
What's that?
Does Mondani bring a posse?
Mondani bring a little delegation?
Yeah.
Oh, he has to.
He might bring some socialists with him.
What if AOC showed up with him?
So there's two things that are interesting. One is we talked about this a little yesterday, but it's funny. He wants the meeting, and yet he's calling him Communist Mayor Mondami.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So he's not giving up the moniker. But the thing that I found fascinating, you noted this. I was writing it down as he was saying it, and then Mark, you picked it up. But like, the bus is costing $2.90. Has what the president of the United States is now suddenly weighing in on the cost of a bus for New York City and Con Ed. That's your electricity system.
Yes.
It's kind of rich to come down and start telling the president how unaffordable New York is for things that have nothing to do with the president of the United States.
Correct. Dan, how do you see this meeting playing out?
See, I'm not sure it's going to be a love fest, because what Mondani said is, I'm going to kind of like educate Trump. And that is not what you do when you walk into the White House, to like, hey, let me tell you how things really are, because that'll just rub him the wrong way. I think the question is he going in there for politics? Because I don't think you can have both. So if he's going in there and his goal is to keep the funding flowing, then I think he shuts his mouth. He's gracious. He absolutely kind of understands I'm a little bit of the beggar.
Yeah.
But if he goes in there with the idea of listen, like, I am your equal, I am representing my whole side of the tribe, and you have JD Vance and Susie Wiles and, like, I don't know, Tom Homan.
Stephen Miller.
Yeah, Stephen Miller and Tom Homan. Does he walk in with AOC? I think Jeffries.
I think we got to say that there's a 15% chance that he and Stephen Miller wrestle each other to the floor. I just don't think you can rule that out.
Can we all agree it's going to be an open pool, right? I mean, they're going to bring in the pool.
Oh my God! I think they're all going to be wearing wireless mics, and there'll be like a camera overhead.
Well, the reason I say that is tomorrow's pool is going to be really important to look at.
Yeah.
Because who is the secondary in the new?
I hope it's Mary
Bruce. If they
ask
about immigration and they ask about crime, I mean, what does Mondani say? We welcome ICE?
It's going to be a great meeting. All right, couple more things.
Watch to see if Brian Glenn, from Real America's Voice, is back in the pool tomorrow.
Well, that's a perennial for many of us now. Because of his relationship with Marjorie Taylor Greene. They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America. And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two-Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify,
or wherever you get your podcasts.